teachers are being encouraged to keep their ideals while entering the profession. That was some of the advice Minister of Education Ronald Jones gave to the 164 teachers that completed their introductory course at the Erdeston Teachers Training College. At the closing ceremony yesterday, Mr. Jones told the new teachers about some realities of the profession. Mentioning the maturing nature of the students entering secondary school, he urged young men to be prepared to face both persuasions and challenges of young female students.
How are you going to handle that? The temptations that your mind sees and the persuasion of young ladies who might not understand their place, who are whispering in the classroom what they want to do with you.
Mr. Jones encouraged them to be mindful of the repercussions of their actions.
In the system, there's zero tolerance for adults having that certain levels of interaction with students. And you don't want your name and reputation to be tarnished, to be destroyed, to be damaged. And I'm not only speaking of male and female, but I'm speaking of female to female, male to male. Don't let us be foolish. That is the world that we live.
Unemployment now stands at 10% for the first quarter of this year. Statistics from the Continuous Household Labor Force Survey indicate that the unemployment rate among males stood at 8% and 1.9% among females. In the review period, the number of people employed totaled 130,900, while those unemployed stood at 14,000. The total number of unemployed people stood at 14,500. In the first quarter of 2011, the wholesale and retail trade sector generated jobs for the largest number of people, employing 19,200 people, while construction, mining and quarrying employed 14,500 people. The Secretary General of the Organization of American States, Jose Miguel Insulza, has pledged strong backing for the work of the Interim Haiti Recovery Commission. He's also called on the international donor community to support plans for reconstruction being undertaken by the government of President Michel Martelly. Insulza said the reality lived in the Caribbean country imposes the need for national agreement to provide a solid basis for the work of the IHRC in support of reconstruction efforts. The new Secretary General of CARICOM, Erwin LaRocque, is placing the management of the integration process high on his agenda. The Dominican-born Mr. LaRocque, who replaced the retiring Edwin Carrington, believes the future of the Caribbean lies in integration. The region's most senior public servant says there is much to be done with the Guyana-based secretariat as well as regional integration process. International news now. Norwegians are mourning the victims of a massacre at an island youth camp and a bombing in the capital, Oslo. Over 85 people are believed to have died after gunmen opened fire at the camp on Friday, hours after a blast in the government quarter killed 7.
He's been talking today. They've been interviewing him all day. It hasn't been easy, but he has been communicating with them. They say that he's not revealed his motives as yet. As for whether someone else was involved, it really is speculation. What the police essentially are saying, they're not saying they think someone else was involved. They're saying, well, at the moment they can't rule it out, and that's part of the inquiry as it goes on. Now, where we are here is outside of Oslo, about 50 kilometres outside of Oslo. The hotel behind me has been set up as a sort of crisis centre. We're less than 5 miles from the island where the killings, the rampage took place. This place was set up as a sort of crisis centre for families where they were able to reunite with the kids, have counselling sessions. A lot of the kids have gone now. They have 2 coach loads left just about an hour or so ago. You know, we talked to some of the kids today, and it was remarkable, John, the resilience that you were getting from them, the bravery after what they went through. And what they went through just really defies belief. An hour and a half, the gunman went around shooting children. On land, he was firing at them in the ocean as they were trying, or in the water as they were trying to get off the island and swim to the mainland.
Singer Amy Winehouse has been found dead at her North London home. Her 2006 album Back to Black brought the 27-year-old worldwide stardom, winning 5 Grammy Awards. Initial reports said her death was undetermined, but most people have been speculating that drug use was associated.
It would have to be the assumption that anyone would make, but of course, we'll await more official word. But, it's been a very troubled career, and it's a very sad and premature ending. Clearly she was flailing, and you really hope that someone that young will turn it around, but 27 has been a dangerous age for rock stars for a long time. That moment when you've had a big success, but trying to get over your troubles, some people make it, and obviously some people don't. The most recent, and that is hardly out of character, unfortunately. There was an extremely public element to her dissolution that was, in many ways, as scary as anything else. There was a sense of someone being entirely out of control. And it was so ironic because, of course, her big hit was a song called Rehab, which had this chorus, I don't want to go to rehab, which was hilarious at first. Everyone thought it was so funny and so not politically correct. And then, of course, it wasn't funny anymore. It just became, the kind of a sad expression of a kind of, defensiveness and desperation. So, but the public kind of disintegration that you described, there have been a dozen incidents like that throughout her career.
Coming up, Sean Green and the latest sporting action.